Peter. Okay, good morning. My name is Sukaina. Today we're going to be talking about creating human connections through your content. As you guys know, social media, especially Facebook, was created. I think most of us, like you guys, watch what's the movie called? Like the movie about how I think it's called the social something. I don't remember the name, but the movie about how Facebook came to be, how Mark Zuckerberg, created it, right, when he was in college, right? So it was about social. It's like he wanted to like his, friends and family to know what they're doing, sharing stuff. That's what it was about. But later on, it just became like, I guess, more like business stuff. But still, the basic of it, like the base of it, is still there. Should still be there, even though we are business owners. Like for me, I used to hate Facebook. I never love it. I never, I just created the account, of course, because everybody was having Facebook and stuff like that, and that's it. I never did anything for it until I became a travel agent. Of course, I have like a few pictures that I shared, and it was nothing about, my life and anything like that. But then I joined this business and I need it because I'm online. I don't have like a brick and mortar that I can go and people come and see me, right? So this is my online business. So I call it my online office to Facebook and all the social media, even though you don't might not like, posting or you might not like putting yourself out there, but you have the business and you need to provide, for your family. You need this business to work for you. So you have to, find ways um, to share, to market yourself, to, for people to see you, to find you. And that's one way is social media. It's not all the way, but it's social media. And one of them is going to be Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, maybe Snapchat if you're using. And there's like a bunch of more threads, Twitter, whichever, you want to use. But the main thing stays that we need to be connecting, not just through business, but also through our shared values, maybe shared struggles and stuff like that. And today that's what I'm going to be talking about. And again, we are always seeing people posting about anything and everything, especially now that AI is like taking over. There is more need for that human connection, right? There's more need for that, touch of, oh, this feels real. This feels like, vulnerable. I feel like I can relate to them, something like that. So that's when you're posting, make sure you have those things in mind. So let's move forward. I'm just using this new thing. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, too fast. So why connection matters more than ever? And I already kind of touched about it because I talk fast. If I'm too fast, you guys let me know. And it's recordings, I'll post it later on the Facebook group. So like I said, your feed is like always flooded with people posting and also ads. I don't know why, because I guess I touch a lot of ads, so I get a lot of ads and I hate that. So that is something that I need to like work on and not just click on ads because they know you are also one who are active on the ads, so they will keep sending you more stuff, more ad. But you see like people posting about, everything and anything their life. Maybe, you see a lot of AI stuff. That's just generic, message and you need to be visible in that sea of posts, right, of sea of content. You need to be, so for you to like stand out, I feel like you should be posting stuff that's relatable, stuff that's gonna be shareable to others. And people, like I said, when people see it, they be like, oh, I definitely relate. I know what you you know what you're talking about. Okay. And being real is one thing that people love because, like I said, again, there's a lot of AI stuff, there's a lot of fake stuff, and it's really annoying. And if you go to like some groups, you see people be like, oh, I hate AI, or y- um can we just go back to the normal ways or whatever? Some just kind of comment. So they are not wrong, but we can still use AI. Don't get me wrong. I'm still using AI. This is from AI actually, this presentation. I just put my stuff on it. So we can still use it. But again, not to forget the base of, being a human, being a person and being real and then sharing your value, sharing your maybe your struggles, your wins, not just about struggle and stuff, but your wins, your daily life, because we need to be if you are in business, you need people to know you and, like you for you, right? Not just because you have a cute, website or your Facebook business page is nice. No, they need to know you and be like, oh, I like her. I can work with her. I trust her, right? Stuff like that. Okay, and then people like I said, be authentic. If you want people to like you and work with you, you need to show your authenticity. Just not just pretty pictures of like, where you've been or the suppliers, their marketing materials. And what gives you is what, like I said, if someone sees you post something, and I'll show you some examples too. If someone see your post, you post about maybe, I don't know, you struggling with waking up in the morning. Like some people have hard time waking up in the morning, like 6 a.m. There's like 3 a.m. club, 4 a.m. club, 5 a.m. club, and you can even wake up at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m., right? You wake up 8, 9, 10, whatever. And you post about that. You post about that struggle. I guarantee you, you will have a bunch of people who can relate to that struggle. Because it's not just one person who like, um, it's just me. I'm the only one who cannot wake up at 6 a.m. No, you will be finding like bunch of people who cannot wake up in the morning. And also maybe you are a night owl. You work, you like to stay up late and do your work. I don't know, do stuff up late, watch movies, whatever. You struggle with going to bed early. That is a struggle. You posted that. I can 100% bet that there is more people that think that you might think can relate to you, can relate to that struggle of going to bed early. So that can bring you, and also you remember when you post on Facebook, social media, and anything, it's not just going to your people who follow you, people who are friends, with you. It also sometimes goes to other people that have nothing to do with you. You never see them, you never you have no relationship, because sometimes I see that Facebook on my notification said this person follows you from a reel that I posted. It doesn't have to be someone who was like on my friends list, No, it doesn't have to be someone who saw my post and I just invited them, but they saw my reel from the algorithm, I guess, from the FY, the For You page, the For You feed, right? And they like what they saw, and then click on it and they follow me. That can, that's how you build your connection too, by posting stuff that can be but people will follow you for, or people can like relate to those things. And also, when we post stuff, it's not just we are posting, we're online, of course, so we can connect with people and gain clients, right? But from you posting your that's people stuff that have nothing to do with your business, right? Stuff that have nothing to do with travel, you can gain clients from that. You can, like I said, someone can see your post, be like, oh, I like that. Oh, this is definitely me, right? And they come, they follow you, they stick around, they check your page, right? They can maybe check your profile and they say, oh, she's a travel agent. Oh, that's cool. They can follow, check, open your link, because people are nosy. When they when they come to your page, they might start going. I do the same. Like sometimes I see people, I'm like, let me click on that profile. Okay, and I see, oh, they have link or they have stuff. I'm like, okay, this is good. And I might follow them because I like what I see. So that's also can bring you clients. So don't just be like, oh, I have just to post about travel. No, it doesn't have to be. Of course, always we can post. Again, be you. That's your superpower. Me, I have what we call the pillars of, everybody have things that they love, right? They are passionate about. They can talk about, even if they they don't get paid about it, right? And for that, for me, of course, travel, because I'm a travel advisor, so I can talk about travel any day, anytime. Don't pay me, invite me to your podcast, I'll talk about travel. I can talk about that all day, every day, right? I love food. I cook all the time. I bake all the time. Food is also one of my pillar. And I'm a mom, so I sometimes sprinkle some of my, kids stuff in there, and I also, I feel like I'm not a perfect, faith person, because I don't think there's no one who's perfectly, following their religion. But I try to see myself as a person of faith, right? So that is one of my pillar. So faith, food, travel, and sprinkle of my kids' things. It's every now and then. Okay. So that can be you. Like think about what you like to talk about. Even people, if they don't pay you, you just want to yap about it. Let everybody know about it. Want to share those things. That's your power. That's your superpower. Use that. to create connection. Use that to like bring people to your page, and you can share on groups. So if you see like, for example, I love purple. See my version cup, my whole my whole office team is purple and green, and I also have white and gold accent, right? But I go to groups that have like the thing that I love. I love Harry Potter. I love baking, like I said, and food stuff. So I go to those groups, and I also join those groups. I don't just join, oh, I need a travel agent, um, like groups or or vacation group. I don't just join those things. I join like purple groups, like purple lovers, all things purple. If you love something, maybe you like a gardener, you love to do gardening stuff, go to the Facebook, the search bar, and search like gardening club, or I mean groups, all things gardening, anything that has to do with gardening, or you can just put gardening groups, and then you will see a bunch, like thousands of groups that you can join. You don't have to join them all, just be mindful that you don't if you join groups, a lot of groups, in like one sitting, Facebook might flag you for spam and stuff like that. So five, 5 in the morning, 5 in the afternoon, 5 night, do however you want, 10 maximum, don't go overboard and like just click, 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 because sometimes it's easy to click, but don't do too much. Okay, and then use those groups as your sharing for things that you like. And then when people love your stuff, they like it, and you see the interaction. They can comment, they can love, and they can the interaction, the heart, the love, and like the sad one, and those things. Those are the interaction, right? Those are also engagement, and you can use those things. I don't know if I can show you on my phone, but I will show you on the computer, when you go to the interaction, how you can invite those people to come to your page. You didn't post anything about travel. You posted like, oh, like for example, I think I posted this. I don't know. I posted something like on my purple group last week. And then a bunch of people just, love, like, whatever. I invite those people to my page. Say invite, invite, invite. Facebook gives you that ability to invite them. They can come follow me, and they will get notification like, or whatever, this person you interact with them invite you, to follow their page, something like that. And then if they choose, they can come follow my page. My personal is going to be my personal, and they will see my posts, right? They can interact with me, and maybe they were looking for some travel for cruise, and they can, reach out to me. That is also one way you can bring more people to your, because you need more than just your friends and family that you have, especially if you are new. Definitely join stuff, those, of course, join groups that you can post about travel, but also other things that's not related to travel. Okay, so your voice, your values, your curses, all of those things, makes you irrepressible. So you can you can really like say, if especially nowadays with AI, it's kind of hard, but you can still say, oh, that's not true. This is fake, So use your superpower, use what you like, use your passion. What? Sorry, that's my kid. Okay. So tell the story. I love this part of like telling my story. I don't just do it like every single time, but every now and then I put, just a sprinkle, like something about me. Okay. Facts. And again, if you are not comfortable like sharing your life, you definitely don't have to do this. There's other way you can still share by not sharing too much, I guess. But people like to be, like I said, relatable. They want people who they can say, oh, this is my person. Oh, this is definitely, someone I can talk with, someone I can relate with, right? Of course, share your struggle. You don't have to be like, oh, this is me. I'm so perfect. I travel a lot. I have, whatever. Not everybody, yeah, I don't think there's someone who like have the perfect life. I don't know. Just me, but I don't know. There's someone who have the perfect life. We all have some kind of a struggle. It doesn't matter what it is, but we have some kind of something we struggle with. And that can be something that you can share with other people. And also share the lesson. You just don't have to be like, this is what I struggle with. This is what I struggle with. Okay, people be like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with her? All her life just struggle. No, but share also the lesson that came from those struggle, right? Like for example, okay, I'm gonna share this with you guys. And I think a lot of people know this about me also, because I used to work for Amazon. And I had the night shift one. So it was like they call it the graveyard shift. And I never knew what was that about graveyard. Why calling it graveyard until I'm like, okay, I understand now why is it called graveyard shift. And at that time, I had my baby, so he's not now 5 years old, but he was like this brand newborn. I was working before and it was cool, but some stuff's changed. It's a long story, but I'm just giving you like the short one that my struggle, where the struggle, started. But I have to move from Los Angeles to Riverside County, which is like almost in a good day, 1.5 hour from where I live to where I should be going to work, right? Well, I'm not doing that. So when we were checking out our house here, we saw that there's an Amazon warehouse next to that, like 8 minutes, 5 minutes from my house. I'm like, okay, we can transfer there. They didn't like that. There was a lot of pothole and like struggle that I have, hurdle that I have to like jump on, whatever. But it happened. So I went there and they gave me the worst shift. They demoted me and all that things. I feel like I was really stressed because I just have baby and I didn't want to leave my baby and all that, postpartum, I got postpartum depression. Then COVID, I had COVID. I gave it to my husband, the kids, all of them, even the baby had COVID. And that pissed me off so much. I'm like, oh my God, if my baby dies and it's not my fault, I'm just gonna lose it. I took a day, I took 2 weeks off, and then we just stayed home. It was so nice just staying home. We were watching movies, just eating. I was baking my heart out, just cooking, doing what I love. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this feels so nice. I'm not going back. I was like, I'm not going back to work. So I took my days off. I took my, everything they give me, to stay at home. I took it and I took my disability leave and I never went back. That's a sad story. Like I had depression. I had to struggle with that. But what's the outcome? The outcome was that, oh, I want to stay home. I want to, take care of my kids. I want to be with them. I want to spend more time with them, right? I don't want to miss out on anything with my kids. But also, I still wanted to, make money. I still want to, provide. I still want my husband, pay the bills and whatever, right? The outcome was that okay, I figured out that I need to do all this, so I need to find a way to make money. That's where I started looking for work from home. um and I started like so many business. I had affiliate program. I did that. I even do Amazon, what they call like point of demand, like making t-shirt mugs and those things. None of those work until I found travel. So that's my happy ending. Like me finding travel, me finding something that oh my gosh, I can help people travel the world, but also I can help bring people, to change their lives too, because I have some agent who are doing so amazing booking, why not? That's my happy ending. I found something. I'm passionate. I'm traveling all the time. I just came from a 6-day cruise, with someone that I also met in the travel business. That is my happy ending. Those are the lessons I can share. Okay, I'm gonna share my struggle. Someone will be like, oh, I can relate to that. Also, I was working these horrible hours and I struggle with, keeping up with my kid stuff, right? And then I share my outcome and like, oh, okay, that is cool. Maybe I can do that too. So they relate to me and they were like, they see that what comes after all the struggle that I had, and they were like, okay, we share the same thing and she's doing this now and she find her happiness. She's not she seems relaxed. She's also traveling all the time and she's helping other people do the same thing. So they came like, okay, I trust her. I like her stories look like mine. Let me connect with her. That is also a way. You don't just have to always share, the struggle, but what's come after the struggle. I always share about, whatever happens, like a sad thing happened to me. I can share that, but also why is now is happy? Why now is, the wins that I got from those struggles. So this is what it is. Yeah. I know it's kind of long, but just to just give you like the deep of it, just sharing your story. I want to share with you this. Let me see. Can you guys? I hope you can hear it. Yeah. Hold your breath and count to 10. Feel the earth move and then hear my heart burst again. Oh, this is the end.
After having dreamed this moment, so overdue, I owe it. Swept away and stone. This is the end.
I don't know if you guys saw it, but he pretty much, started listing the struggle, what happened to him. The mom left, and he's really good with content. So if you guys want to follow him, his name is June Yu. I don't know if you can see it, but he's talking about how, his mom left and the dad has to raise them, alone. And then he has, go to college and all the, all the struggles that's like followed him. But then he starts, saying his wins, talking about how he got, accountable, doing fitness, eating right, getting his mental right, being more aligned with God and stuff like that. So he came from, like I was saying, the struggle, but also what comes out after those struggles. And then he shares his wins. So this is a good way to like share, to like to connect with people. I saw this and I was bawling. Like the first time I saw, I was bawling. I was like, "Oh my god, this feels so real." And also the choice of the song, I don't know. It's like make me like have the chicken the shiveries. Like I don't know. Also add a song that's like kind of emotional. This is all to make people feel something, like to make people like, oh my gosh, I feel you, I see you, right? I'm so you, right? This was me too. And then you see, okay, the wins, okay, oh, you struggle with this, I struggle with this too. Or you come out and you did this, you did that. Okay, then I think I can do the same. Because people, like I said, there's no people who like, there's no one who like have a perfect life. But I love him. He's really good with his content. He's really good with like how to share your story and stuff like that. So if you want to follow him. But I want to share also something of mine. So I always, like I said, I don't always post about every time about, travel and every time about, yeah, I don't do that. But one thing also you guys can do, like I was saying, you can go to groups and post about your passion and stuff. I'm not a gardener. I tried, as you can see, failed multiple times. We have like a backyard and there was some stuff planted and it didn't work. Okay. But every time I post something about plants, I ask about recommendation about plants, there is always someone who's gonna be as who's gonna be there answering the question. Like when I was buying this, I was like, oh, and I know I can just go to Google and ask Google, oh, what are plants that I can use in my office that's not gonna require a lot of attention, a lot of not watering every single day, and Google will tell me. But no, I'm choosing to go to social media so I can connect with people and then ask on my Facebook, especially Facebook. I feel like Instagram and the other first, maybe not, but on my Facebook I post about everything and anything that I like, that I love, and whatever. Like Facebook is messy, okay? So I like to do that all the time. Instead of just going to Google and typing whatever, I go to my Facebook because I'm like, I see that my engagement is low or whatever. Let me just go post this week. And this is random. It's always random. It's not like I plan it, but it's just random. This is my plant is still here dying. It's not. And this person, I think it's her and someone else. There's two people. They engage. They talk about it. Whatever. Another one, like I said, sometimes I also sprinkle my kids stuff in there. My son is autistic, and I shared a long time ago about it on my Facebook, right? And a lot of people, came into, and I didn't share it because I wanted people to like be pity, or I don't know. I talked to my mentor because something happened and no one knows about that my son was autistic or whatever. I never shared that. But I talked to my mentor and like I was crying because I was telling him what happened, like how these people were rude to him and he just bumped into some, dude. And she was like, share that, share that to your Facebook. I was like, huh? I'd be like crying inside because when I was talking to her, I was just crying. I was so mad. I couldn't talk to no one. I just like, let me just call her, and I just, the ugly kind and everything. And then she was like, share that to your Facebook. You see how many people, will be supporting and like, relatable and all that thing. I'm like, okay. So I went and I did a video and I talk about that. And again, she was right. So I'm like, oh, okay. I feel like this is, not I'm doing it so I can get people to like, oh, poor her. No, but just to show that of course I have a business at home. I work from home. I'm so blessed. I'm not missing anything from my kids. I drop them to school. I make food for them. My husband work from home, which is like something that it's crazy too. And I'm blessed. I feel blessed, but I don't want to show every day that I'm blessed. Of course, I have also some struggles, with my kids, my son who's autistic and stuff like that. And showing those things will break, the like pattern of, oh, I'm perfect, I'm perfect, I'm perfect, which we are not, right? And this was just a random thing too. I'm like, I came home and he got all the cans. He was playing with it yesterday too. He got all the cans and he just ripped them all off. Like now I don't know which one is what. And I'm just like, that was so funny to me. I'm like, okay, this is a struggle. I'm just gonna post it again. People like to like give suggestion. Okay, people are nosy. They want to give suggestion. They want to give their 2 cents, right? So you always have something. People, if you ask for something, or if you like post something that's like, whoa, what is this? Again, I don't know when people be like, um, one funny one is like someone just, well, it's a surprise. Like you open the can and it's surprise. It's some and just like that. Like I'm connecting with them. My engagement is up, and it's always that. I'm always about, okay, let me see what I can do to make my engagement up. Because when you have a good engagement, Facebook will always prioritize, your content and sharing it to other people. And that's what we want. We want other people to see our content, not just the people who like the 300 people who follows you, right? So sharing this random stuff that have nothing to do with your life, that have nothing to do with, I mean, just have something to do with your life, right? But that have nothing to do with business or travel, right? And I think I have, oh no, I didn't have that. Okay, but there was one day, oh man, I didn't save it. Okay, I can find it real quick. Or I can just tell you. So I posted something about um just being all over the place. My son was going through it. It was like a 2 weeks of just hard, you know, mess with him. He was being very more rude than usual. He's not rude, but his behavior, um, throwing stuff even at school, which he's always get praise from the teachers, just doing his things, not bothering nobody, but he was being all over the place, like angry all the time, more tantrum, crying, and for no reason, a lot of frustration. And he doesn't speak, so it's understandable how can he be frustrated because he cannot let his thought out, so we can understand what he needs, right? And I was feeling so lost and I didn't know what to do. And I was like, I'm just gonna share what I feel right now. And I went on, my personal page and I write, those things. And I'm like, this past 2 weeks have been hard and whatever, whatever. And the amount of people who commented, about, just supporting me, telling me, I'm just doing great or whatever. And also the amount of people who texted me, not just like posting on the commenting and like on the post, but also like on the sideline. And sometimes that's all you need, that's support. People like saying, oh, I see you, you are doing great. Not that, whatever they said will um let me know that I'm a bad mom or a good mom. No, because I already know who I am. I already know, how I feel. But it's just like that. I was feeling so defeated and I was feeling like sad and all that. I'm like, I'm just gonna share this. And when you share stuff, it gets off your chest, right? Like you guys know, even if you talk it, to a mirror, I don't know, you talk to the phone, like just record your frustration. When you get something out of your chest, you feel already better. And then I have a cruise that I was, looking forward to get to without no kid. And because I don't know if you guys know, Virgin Voyages, no kids. So it was amazing, a much needed one. But yeah, so people will come to your page. They will come also off your page and just, support you, give you some words of like encouragement and stuff like that. And sometimes we need that. Sometimes we need that. It's not just always like about business, business, business. But yeah. So posting those things, like you see the video from John, it was genuine. It was him sharing his struggle. My post, it was me, telling you like my story about how I become a travel agent, how I went from Amazon, and all that thing. It's genuine. I'm not just posting because I'm looking for people to like be pity or people like, oh, poor her. No, I don't want that. That doesn't help nobody, right? If you post something and you like get pity out of it, it doesn't help you. What's next? Okay. But the encouragement, people showing you love, people like, okay, telling you you are doing great, this is just gonna pass, this is just a moment or whatever. Those things, really help you like keep going, but also the wins, not just the struggle and what people are saying, but what comes after that, like your wins, things that people can be like, okay, she did that, but now this is what's happening. Those also, show your genuine side. Okay, I've been yapping a lot. Do you guys have any questions? Do you want to share something?
First and foremost, thank you for sharing your journey with us. I know it takes a lot for people to share that information, but it's helping me too, simply because I haven't been on social media for quite some time.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say that my fear of going back, but one of the things I would like to share is when I initially started off with my social media page, I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't getting any support in terms of even with the struggles or even with the wins. I wasn't getting any likes or any loves. But then I learned, I talked to somebody about it a while ago, and they was like, "Well, you just got to find your crowd. You got to find your clan." So,
Mhm. Yeah. You
so
have
thank
to.
you.
Like I
Thank
can
you.
I can relate to a lot of moms who have autistic thing. I can relate to a lot of moms or people who love purple stuff, Harry Potter. That's why going to those groups, like I said, my son is so I have a bunch of groups that's like talk about autism awareness, PTSD. I mean not PTSD, ADHD and those things, right? So I go to those groups too. And like you said, yeah, you have to find your people. And when you find your people, you already know what to post. Like I know whenever I post about, plants, gardening, I know people will be jumping on my post and say something. I know every time I talk about food, I know some people, some of my followers, some of my people, it will go to them and they will comment and give me that engagement boost that I need. So my content that have also nothing to do with maybe travel, or maybe I posted a travel reel and it's go pushed out to other more to more people, to other people that are not, that that can just see them in their their FYP, right? And yeah, they help you. So people, you have to look at them like we want followers, of course, we want more followers, but we have to look at them at these numbers. We want to connect with each one of them. If we can't, we share, general stuff, and they like, I don't know. Just being general, like you said, it just doesn't do it. But being focused on, like just like I said, your pillars. So you guys, maybe your homework today can be to find your pillars. What are stuff that you like? What are stuff that you're passionate about? What are stuff that you can talk about all day, every day without being tired? Add those to your posting stuff. Posting schedule. You just don't have to post about travel, about team building, or your vacation, right? You can add those things, sprinkle them into it, like. I post about, I don't know if you guys, you can see my Facebook. I post about everything and anything, and this is one of it, right? Let me go to my personal. This is my business page. And I don't really use my business page, so it's just a thing that's gonna be there and like, oh, okay, she's real. It's just a page. But everything I do, I post it on my Facebook personal page. Of course, I have my, stuff and my links, but like I said, I don't just always post like I was confused. This was just a vanilla that's like have clear liquid instead of dark one. I never saw that. I never saw vanilla that's like white. It's clear. This is not vanilla supposed to be dark because the beans are brown. But I posted that. Also, doing this engagement thing helps you also because people will be participating, and that's also help you with your engagement. Of course, it's about travel, but it's also something that you can use to post to boost your engagement. And uh, when was I? So I was vacationing. So yeah, I have posted a lot of stuff that have to do with vacation this past week. Um, this was just silly thing because I used to love, want to have a broken something so I can have cast, and then I did, it didn't do well. But again, like I said, I don't post always about travel. Sometimes just random things. This one is about travel. Asking question. This kind of question always helps. So make sure you add those engagement. You can go to chat or any AI ask like, help me come up with some engagement question that I can post. So, and this was just me being grateful that I have, left the people, my people, and go on a cruise and come back with a heart full of, memories, a grateful heart, and my mind is full of memories. My camera roll is full also, so I had to even, move some stuff. But yeah, so as you can see, I don't just post about travel every day. It just goes with. You can always like plan these things how you post, but sprinkle your stuff. Sprinkle. I don't know what was, but on my stories also, I always post stuff like these stories. This is called your stories. I don't know if you guys know when you follow people on their on top of the Facebook thingy, it has like these round circles they call stories. And it's not round, it's like rectangle. These things right here, these are stories people post, but the people you follow. So people can interact with that. You can ask question, and I always love sharing just random stuff from there too. And this was yesterday. Like yesterday, I was feeling really sick. So when I woke up today, I make my turmeric ginger lemon honey. It's just posting about stuff. You don't have to, but it also helps with your engagement. So you can add those to your posting too. Okay. And like I said, asking question helps with engagement because people want to always add their 2 cents. Creating like Q&A, like a poll on your stories. You can do that on story. I don't think you can do polls I think you can do polls also on Facebook, like giving them a question and asking, like giving some answers, like the reply, whatever they want to do. And sharing just behind, like sometime when I like, I can just do this right now and just post what I did today. Like I'm here doing a training, right? And I can post this later because this is behind the scenes, showing that not only I talk about travel, I book travel, I travel, but I also, teach other people's how, I don't know. I do trainings about, this one is about contents about travel, but if I was doing maybe a supplier one, I would say, I also teach people how to use these suppliers, right? Something like that. So those are always good to share. Okay, so we talked about AI before. Of course, like I said, I'm using AI all day, every day, but it's not going to replace us. Okay, AI cannot do our job. It can't. It helps us. Like for me, I use AI for my random posting. I don't even use AI for those posts that I randomly post, right? That's just come from my brain. Okay. And that's easy because it just happens and I post it. It just happens. I'm like, oh, I want to share this, right? But I feel like those things shouldn't be, left to AI. Like let's use AI for helping us come up with content strategy. Let's use AI. You can use AI for like your itineraries, like making a page of like maybe you already have the itinerary to make the page nice, flyers, those things that like not gonna hurt my brand, but if I come up with something, I'm like, oh, this I need to post that, like my son, using removing the label of those cans. AI will like, what am I gonna tell AI? Oh, can you write about this now? Right? Those things we can, do it on our own. But of course, we don't wanna be behind and not use AI too. I love AI and I'm definitely gonna be honest. I'll be using it until it's not being used. Something else come up. But yeah, and if you want, like you can tell, let's say you are using ChatGPT or Cloud Gemini, whatever you use, you can tell your story to them. Like you can write your story. Like if I wanted to, I can go to Gemini or any AI. I'm just gonna say AI, any AI chat, and I will put, the story I told you. I maybe go from the beginning or when I started from, maybe even when I come here, because I'm not from here, I'm from Senegal. I came here 13 years ago, right? I can start from that. And now he will know all my stories. And I will do that, actually. I will do that. I'll go and do that. And I can use that to make, a content strategy that I can even post every single day. I can use it to, because I still haven't created. When I saw it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so relatable. I'm gonna make something similar. I still haven't done it, and it's been like months I've been following him on social media. I went to his mastermind and online mastermind and all that, but I still haven't done it. So maybe that's a good idea. I will do that. I will go and give my story to AI and ask him to like create. And you can also download some of, like, if you see something that you like, you can download and put it on the AI to give you the example on how you want it to be too. So we can do that. Okay, so the power of human-centric content. Of course, we talk about AI. It's good. We can use it, but we are the man. We are the source, right? The shift is simple. So stop creating content for people and start creating content with them in mind. So, like I said, I know whenever I post something that has to do with gardening, we have to do with planting. I know some people. I know for sure Christina, her name is Christina, because she loves, I guess, planting and she have a lot of knowledge about planting. I know she will be there and like asking question or giving me some suggestion and recommendation. Like I said, when I was doing my office, I went on Facebook and I asked, oh, can you guys give me recommendation on plants that I can use for my office indoor, no hard work and stuff like that. And I can see people are adding. Maybe you were like, what can I say? Oh, I'm into juicing now. I want to start juicing. Can you guys give me your recommendation on the best juicer? You 100% someone will tell you, oh, I love this juicer, oh, I use this one, oh, this. They will sometimes even give you the link, because that's how people want to be helpful. Some, not always, because there's like some rude people, but whatever. But you will always find people who like would just want to be helpful. They will go the extra mile, going to Amazon, click the link, get the link, give it to you on in the comments. And that's helped you with your content, your engagement, and stuff like that. So you know exactly what's, when you're posting, you have in mind, oh, I'm a baker. So when I post this thing, people who love baking, people who love food will comment. That's how you create your content, keeping your people, like you said, your client in mind. So when you post, don't just like post random stuff. Think about what people will be like liking too. Okay, so focus on people that needs emotion and real life story, not just your product or your message. Again, we are travel advisor, of course, but we are human in the first place. And even with creating content for travel stuff, like if you post something, um, like real something real simple, like what is a place you want to always be go you will you always wanted to go but haven't. Like people be always gonna be like, "Ooh, that's a good question," and they will start thinking, and they will type something. Maybe you can get from that clients too, because you can take that and be like, "Oh, okay." You can even go like on any AI and ask, what kind of itineraries can you give me from, let's say someone said Costa Rica, right? Or Panama, whatever, or I don't know. Let's just go Costa Rica, right? And then you can go to AI and then ask AI to give you an itinerary, and you will see like, oh, and you can suggest back to them, oh, oh wow, Costa Rica is a very popular destination, and these are things that you can do in Costa Rica and whatever. And then maybe they will like it. Maybe you can also take that to the DM, private message them and talk about how you can help them. Even maybe they struggle with maybe budget, maybe they are like, it's too expensive to travel. You can give them ideas on how to make payments plans, how you can use maybe if you use Vax, you can always make payment plans. And Vax also have like a flex pay or something like that, where they don't have to use credit card. They can just pay a deposit. If they have maybe if they plan it far enough, like they can have a deposit and then pay monthly as they go. Same as cruise. Maybe someone want to always go on a cruise. They can also do that. So you can also use those questions to gain client, to like at least prospect and then potential client. Again, make them feel seen, create content that makes someone think this was made for me. Like I said, like I feel like this one I watched it like more than definitely 5 times. I feel like this was made for me, and but I'm still stuck on not finishing it, doing it, but I'm doing it today. So you guys are my Dominic, Caroline, and Camora. You guys are my hold me accountable. Okay. And people when they see when they see your content and they see themselves in it, right? Like for example, if I post something that, about my son who's autistic, and another mom's, has been feeling the same way. Okay, not only did I speak to about me, right, about my struggle, about how sad and frustrated it was those last 2 weeks. They saw themselves also in it, and sometimes I watch other people, and like, oh my gosh, this is so, yeah, exactly. This is what I was going through. There's a mom that I follow. Her son is also autistic. I think she's six. The son is 16 now. He's 16, and she posted about how you have like a list of stuff to do, but you always putting it back, because she always posts about how, I feel like her life is amazing. And she was saying, you always see me post this thing, but what you don't see behind, something like that. And she was talking about this thing that she was put up. And there was one that like her curtain fell off, and the hose and everything is still in there. It's been months, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have the same thing. But my son is good. No one is dying. No one is hungry. The house is clean, right? So I'm good. I don't have to worry about that curtain fixing it back or whatever. And of course, I'm not fixing it. It's my husband's gonna fix it, but he hasn't. I haven't bothered him with it. If I start bothering him, he will do it. But I'm like, it's not a big deal. Like I felt similar, and I typed exactly. Oh, yep, exactly. This is me too. I still have this. My curtain fell off months ago, and it's still not fixed. Okay, so that is also something how you can like make people see themselves in your content too. And also, like I said, if you post stuff that people can relate to, they can follow you and they can stay with you and they be like loyal. And every time you post something, they can come back and post and engage, follow you and all that good stuff. So that's also can help you build loyal followers. That can always turn into clients, because that's also the end goal, right? We always want to. Oh, thank you. I'm trying. I'm not always strong, but we have to. We have to. So your next step is, make sure you connect with people. You don't need a big platform or perfect strategy. You just need to start showing up as yourself. Like we were just talking about. You just show up. Like just talk about you. Talk about stuff that you like. Like I don't know what you guys love, but whatever it is, just sprinkle it in your content. Maybe let's say you find at least 3 pillars, five, four, okay, that's good. But at least three. Start with your most three things that want to can talk about, like I said, for days. And no, and even no one's scared, you still talk about it, right? Find those things and maybe go to AI and ask, these are my pillars, my 3 pillars, help me create content, surrounding those things. You can do that. And also, if you want to go further, you can even ask AI to like make it, engaging, make it, people, can relate to it and stuff like that. You can make AI, do anything these days. Okay, and that's gonna be authentic to you. Like I have, for example, I don't know if you guys know Perla. She had the pretty much, I think, the same pillar as me. Of course, we are travel agents, so that's one of hers. She also a foodie, and she also like a woman of faith. But if you go to her page and you come to my page, we talk about total different things. Of course, we talk about travel, we talk about food, we talk about, and I don't always talk about my faith. Sometimes I sprinkle in there, but it's really random and like every blue moon, right? But you will see her page. She will talk about travel, and she will also talk about sometimes she has her kids in there, and also a lot of food. But it's not the same because we don't love the same things, even though it's all about food, travel, and whatever. Whatever you're gonna be doing, even though other people so like it, it still can be authentic to you, genuinely, like seriously. You don't have to like copy other people. So in your next very polish, drop the polish. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to say something like sometimes when I just I take pictures, I'm like, oh my God, why the background like that? I don't care. I'm just gonna post it. I'm like, whatever. It's my house. This is how it looks. That's it. Just share it and ask a question. Like I said, ask question in those, engagement and just keep showing up. Just keep showing up, keep posting, keep creating content that's like, of course, engaging, but can be relatable. People can be like, okay, this is me. This is exactly me. This is what I'm going through. But of course, share your wins and you will see. Um, I think that's the last slide. Yeah, that's my last slide. So what do you guys think you can do today to start just creating content that speak to your audience? Like I gave you examples of like just liking even colors. What's your guys' favorite colors? I don't know. If I go show you on Facebook, um, let's type here. Let me know which colors do you like, Law? What is your favorite color? Don't say purple. Are you welcome, Dominic? You're welcome. Pink. Okay, let's go. Pink. Pink groups. Uh-oh. Just to show you one example. Okay. And this you type on the search bar and you will see all stuff pink. Pink obsessed, like pink lovers, it's the pink life, whatever. And you just join, like just join those groups. Maybe you go to AI and be like, oh, help me create, because sometimes all I did was like good morning, have a great day, and it was all proper and of course was created by ChatGPT, a picture, and I tell them to like make it, add some raindrop, like with diamond stuff, and say good morning, have a great week. That's it. And I posted it, and you guys, the likes and the comments were off the chain. And I go back and I invite those people. I don't know if I can show how you guys can also do that. Let me also stop the recording so it doesn't go too long. Thank you guys for coming. I'm gonna stop the recording now and I'll do question and answer if you guys have any.